But I'm not going to talk about those today. Today, I'm going to talk about Alpha's project. Alpha stands for something. It stands for Accelerating Leadership and Productivity in High Ambition SMEs. My real love in the world.
Understand why you shortened that job.
That could be Anna. She might be back. Yeah, this is very disruptive, but that's fine. So Accelerating Leadership for High Ambition SMEs. One of my great loves in the world is entrepreneurs. You guys run the world. You create value, you deliver so much value to the country, you employ most people.
Well,
part of every supply chain.
Neil does all that and the rest of us just watch him.
So,
John, I'm really struggling to hear you. Is there
I can hear you. It's your end. Muffled. It's your end, Ron. We can all hear
my
him.
end, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Your end's broken again, Ron.
Yeah, not for the first time.
Is that Enron?
No, it's later.
All right, crack on, John. That's a lovely building. What a beautiful building.
It is completely unfit for academic purposes. It's an open office. Can't do any work in there, so nobody's in there. It's completely empty, and not just because of COVID. Everybody works at home now. The Open University, just up, down, wherever you are from you, celebrated half a century last year. The campus is one of the most beautiful in the UK because we've got no students. This is the Jenny Lee 2 building, 170,000 students, 2 million graduates, 2 million alumni, served by about 400 academics. We've got we're the largest provider of law graduates in the country and one of the largest MBAs in the world. We've got over 20.
Sorry, did you say largest provider of law graduates?
Law graduates, yeah.
Oh, right, wow.
Is that what we call a white elephant these days, John?
It's got a lot of white in it, Neil. Well done.
And we also got over 30,000 MBAs, I think that we've given.
Awarded.
Yeah, that's right. OU has an almost perfectly scalable business model. Me as an academic write books, I send them to students. Those students have tutors who support them. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to meet a student, but I do love meeting students. Our students are the most motivated students in the country. 87.5% of them are already in work or business owners like yourselves.
Yeah.
Trying to better themselves. The other 12.5% have either recently left work or trying to start up their business and use what the Open University delivers to them as a way of doing that. Great institution. First tip, Open Learn. Open Learn gets about 20 million hits a year. It's packed full of.
Is that a free resource there, John?
It is free, absolutely free.
So
anything on there is free. We got stuff from. I did a quick search this morning of what stuff we got. We got stuff from. This was searching for entrepreneurialism, asset allocation and investment, building relationships with. Well, you can read that as well as I can. But
yeah, I don't know about anybody else. Does anybody else know that the Open University had all this free stuff for businesses on there?
No,
I didn't. No, it's a well-kept secret, John.
Well, you know it now.
Yeah. So talk to your marketing department.
15 more people now know.
The marketing module's obviously rubbish.
Yeah. I'm going to skip getting your message out there.
Okay. So somebody's just fallen over in my house, so that's fine. But she's fine. That's Lucia, okay? She had a bit much to drink last night after the successful work.
She might not want you to share that.
Yeah.
So ask her to wave at us on screen, John.
Hi.
Hello, Lucia. So you were basically pissed.
Yeah, that's right.
And and he was sharing that with you. That's lovely. That's called.
Last year,
I don't drink, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Is Lucia Italiana?
She's Italian.
Mark, stop flirting.
She's married.
Yeah.
It really doesn't stop, Mark.
I have an Italian at home already. I've got my own Italian at home. There we go.
I've got a pulse.
You qualify, Kay. Well done.
Also, Open Learn, you can contribute to it. There's an Open Learn Create means you can put courses on there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A great marketplace, a shop window for your business. If you want to, Eugene, you want to talk about your services, you could put an open module on there. drag people into your business. Stuart, if you've got anything you wanted to tell people, which I know you have, having just listened to you for the last half an hour, do it on open.
Oh God, he can go for a lot longer than half an hour, John. But this is interesting as well, John, because I never knew that people could add stuff. Do they have to register in some way and qualify in some way?
Open Learn Create is the way into it.
Yeah, but
Open Learn
presumably you have to
Create is the way
qualify in
into
some way. Do you? You can't put any old bullshit on there, surely.
John, what's the website for this?
The site for Open Learn is open.edu
Yeah.
or openlearn.ac.uk. And Open Learn Create, I'll have to find that out, but I think it's Open Learn to Create.
I'm sure Neil's got loads of stuff he'd like to repurpose in there, and you know.
You're
Do
about
it.
to need another 4 servers.
Gets 10 million hits a year. Those people are looking for free modules. They're looking for ways into improving their lives through your
Is there a
materials.
particular format you have to use to upload it? Does it have to be in a particular format, or could it just be a PowerPoint, Zoom, screen
It can
shared
be
job?
whatever you want. I mean, there are standards, but
Really? Oh no, that's a
Oh,
problem.
well.
That's a
it's
problem.
legal based. I don't know if you
That's
know
you
Take it
out.
off the list. Take it off the list.
You
No,
out.
no.
Can
It's
someone
legal
please?
based.
I'm assuming the courses have to be filmed and recorded, so the format of the presentation shouldn't
No,
matter
no,
as long as
no,
it's
no.
MP4.
You can include video, you can include podcast, you can include voice, you can include whatever you want, but our main presentation medium is
Yeah.
text. So if you only have
Text.
text and diagrams, you'll be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Could I upload a Loom, for instance? A Loom.
I don't know what a Loom is.
Loom is like
video
a
call, isn't it?
screen share video.
You write some wraparound material for that.
Easy.
Yeah.
If you could put the link into the chat box, we'd appreciate
Put the
it.
link.
That'd be great. Thanks, John.
And I'm going to get there before Neil does.
Everybody else.
Well, it'll be full up if you don't.
I've got
I know.
10 million and 15 visitors, so I'm glad I told you about that. But I'm not here to talk about Open Edu today, although I can come back and talk more about that if you wish. I can show you some examples of what we do. But what I'm talking about today, it's bad having one screen which is a touch screen and the other one which is a mouse, because, well, you know what happens.
It's called multitasking, John. Ask Lucia about it.
She'll know.
Mark, please, just let him get on with it.
I am.
Here we go.
Angus, get back to the learning bit.
I've been told to put headphones on, but she doesn't like listening to you.
Ah, right. I'm not surprised.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, excellent.
I'm here to talk about Alphas. Alphas is a partnership between 3 local universities, Elton University, Northamptonshire and Bedfordshire. And we're trying to support local business, small and medium-sized businesses within the SEMLEP area. The SEMLEP area is generally that area there, Northampton, Bedford, Milton Keynes and Luton, although we've just lost Aylesbury Vale, which have lost the SEMLEP for some reason. SEMLEP stands for South East Midlands Local Enterprise Partnership. I hope you're aware of that.
Yeah.
They do loads of fantastic stuff.
Anna's back on her mobile now. There we are.
Yeah, something went drastically
sorry.
wrong, didn't it?
My internet has just died completely, so I'm on mobile data.
He said you used that excuse yesterday.
Yes, totally, 100%.
I think Aylesbury Vale's probably gone.
Dialing back in.
I think Aylesbury Vale's probably gone because of Buckinghamshire Business First, which seems to dominate Buckinghamshire.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But we've been given 2 million by the European Union Regional Development Fund to give away.
Goody,
to
let's
business.
spend their money,
That's right.
which is our money.
Not all of it. Anna's got some of that. Some other people have got some of that, but the majority of that money is for people like you. So let me tell you how you get it. Oh, let me tell you what we do first. So what we do is we're going to try and create religion. The Open University is a national university, 4-nation university. We call ourselves. So Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and England.
Presumably you've got international students as well, have you, John?
We have international students.
Yeah.
We have many, not as many as we used to, but we still have them. What we don't do is link very well with the local communities. So this is us reaching out to the local community to say, we're here, use us, join our community. There's loads of value that we can deliver to you. And this
You need a photographer to do that then.
Yeah.
You need a what?
Yeah, Jane's a photographer. She's just digging herself up.
We definitely need a photographer, Jane.
Good. I will
Yeah.
call you.
In the chat box, Jane.
Actually, one of our most popular modules is on photography. One of those most popular Open University modules is on photography. We have thousands of students studying that. Why not become a tutor for us on that module and meet all those fantastic students? And
That'd be a good
we
idea,
can talk
Jake.
about that later.
You got nothing
Yeah,
else to do. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I have got nothing else to do. So I don't talk about that.
We want to hear about your business. We want to know about your business problems, and we want to try and help you solve them. We realize that you guys have got all the answers to your problems, but if we can help in any way, we're here to help. Alphas is about growth. So what I'm going to tell you about is about how to get grants for bringing new to market products and new to firm products and processes.
John, before you go on to that, can I just ask,
Yes.
how many of your business helpers are actually experienced business people as opposed to academics?
All of our academics are academics. Some of our academics are always also business owners, but not many of them. Most of our associate lecturers are in industry, business, either as business owners or they contribute to larger organizations, or they're experts who have retired and are looking for some way of giving back. So we have 4,000 associate lecturers, and I would estimate, although I don't know the exact figures, I would estimate that 3,500 of those are people like you, Stuart.
Oh, they can't be that bad.
Perhaps not exactly like you, but have the same background.
In a more immediate fashion, I've joined the OU, but I only joined it in June. I've been in industry for about 20 years. So
Cool.
as the
I've never
person
been in industry.
most likely to speak to first, if you were to dial the Alpha's number, you would get through to me.
I've never been in industry, but I've worked closely with people like General Dynamics UK, the MOD, BAE Systems, there was Siemens and Webasto that I've talked about. We've worked with Greenpeace, with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, hundreds and hundreds of large organizations, not hundreds, tens of large organizations, but also small business owners like yourselves in consultancy roles and in helping them to solve their business problems. Alphas can help you in 4 ways. We run workshops on growth led by academics. Kay was at one of these workshops yesterday.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask her.
Oh, go on, Kay. Tell us how good it was.
How you felt. Okay.
I have to say, yesterday was my 4th in the series of the Alpha.
You must have liked them then.
They've each been on different subjects. Yesterday's one, John and Anna I don't know if Anna was there at the time, when we got into it.
She had internet problems.
It was a case of my word for it.
I was meeting.
Wow. What John was showing us yesterday was very, very useful, to say the least, in business. I
you're
think
so sweet.
Neil will like it particularly in so much as it reinforces what Neil's always telling us about know your numbers. It was very, very good. So yesterday's course was particularly good.
Thanks.
So these workshops, John, these are freebies, aren't they?
Freebies, yeah.
So you just have to
Yesterday's
register.
was on
register
using
and
analytics. Yep. Anna will have the details of registering later. Yesterday's module was on. Say that again.
Please put the links for those in the chat line.
Will do, definitely. Yesterday's course was on analytics for your business. I can do Anna if you can't. Analytics for your business. The one before that was cybersecurity for your SME. Northamptonshire and Bedfordshire are also running modules as well on leadership, finance, those sorts of things.
So John or Anna, how do you communicate the fact that these are on to people? Do they get well attended, or is it? The
attendees we have are absolutely superb.
Yes.
I don't mean the people, I mean the numbers.
Can we look at it from a different angle? Kay, how did you find out about the workshops?
I actually found out about it by somebody else. It was word of mouth.
Right.
That wasn't brilliantly advertised.
No. This is something we're working on.
I was going to say, the person who told me is another trainer within the Semlek area. And when she told me, she'd obviously been on one of your other courses, and it was a case of, for the moment, we're keeping this quiet because we're expecting these numbers to grow. And going by the 4 classes that I've been on, or 4 workshops I've been on, you didn't get the responses that were initially hoped for.
No.
There we go.
But they're free and they're out there and they could be useful.
Yeah, and they were very informative.
Good. We'll hope to get you some more knowledge of that then? This is knowledge exchange, John.
That's knowledge exchange, led by academics. That's not a good thing to say, though, is it? It's led by people who know their stuff. So we also give, if you got a capital expenditure, we'll give a grant of 30% up to 3,000 to help you buy something.
Can you have an example of that, John? What kind of thing would that
Well,
be?
if you want to buy a new server, Neil, I don't know what a new server costs, 7K. We could give you 2.1K against that server. You are?
All cloud-based.
Yeah.
So what criteria do you have to have?
What's the cloud? The cloud is just a bunch of servers somewhere, isn't it? So
maybe somebody would spare the cost of
7,000
that.
spend, we can give you 2,100 towards that.
David was about to offer you a loan for that there.
Yeah, I've already got an application in for you, don't worry.
Lovely. We can give you, our academics, our associate lecturers, those people in business, those 4,000 people in business, we can give you access to them, free consultancy for a limited time, but free consultancy. And we can give you, and this is perhaps the most exciting thing, if you've got a business problem that you want somebody dedicated to try and help you solve, we can give you 60% of a graduate intern employment costs for 400 hours and an academic to help supervise them. So that brings the cost of employing an intern. And the way we do it is you pay the thing and then you claim back from the Open University. You claim back 60% of the cost.
So you've got to pay 100% up front first, but then you get 60% back.
Yeah. You get 60% back and that takes it down.
So you
to
see, that would be a good,
K.
that might be a good thing for someone to do with their bounce back loan.
Very good.
Because they need to have the money now, but they'll get it back.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the government takes or you take to give it back to them, but you know.
For us, it's immediately after the graduate is finished.
Oh, is it?
We're hoping
Okay.
we're hoping that those graduates will stay employed, but they're there for you if you need them.
And do you have any examples of projects that have been done this way?
Haven't, because we're quite new.
Oh, this is
we're
quite
getting to the first one.
Okay, quite embryonic, is it?
Yeah, embryonic. We're looking for we're looking to place a graduate with our first graduate with a local firm in the drinks market. They're going to use them. What are they going to use them for, Anna?
They're looking into doing a track and trace for recycling of packaging materials, because the lady in question is extremely passionate about making sure that their environmental impact of the product they create is as low as possible.
Okay,
So,
well, we'll have to introduce you to Datis Goll, who is a brewer at Buck Star, who brews and has also got all those kind of eco-environmental friendly ethics about him. He's a lovely guy.
Cool.
But we've got experts on the circular economy who are working with this lady to help employ somebody.
Okay, fabulous.
Okay, so next thing, contact details. I'm gonna drag these down to the chat box as well.
Okay.
alphasforbusiness.org.uk. You can register there.
Yep.
If you still got questions, alphas@open.ac.uk. That goes through to Anna and myself.
Well, you're going to get questions as we go through as well, John.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is almost the end of the talk. So if you haven't asked now,
Oh, is it? No, don't worry. They'll ask you as we go around. As long as you don't bugger off and leave the meeting like Anna did.
Yeah, that's right. And so we got alphas.ac.uk. There's a QR code there if you want to take a
look at that
screenshot.
QR code and everything.
That'll take you directly to the website. And
does that track and trace?
Yes, it does.
Hang on.
So that's track and trace for computer viruses, not for human viruses.
Very good.
So I'm open to questions. Ask me anything.
What we'll do then, John, I've just scanned that, is we'll let everyone have their say now, and they'll ask you questions as they go around, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you unshare your screen?
Hang on a second. What's Anna going to say?
Well, she'll get her to say, but what
she's going to answer your question.
Do you want to say anything else, Anna, before we go around the room?
No.
Other than, can you get a grant for a better internet connection?
If
only.
You, Anna?
Yeah.
Well,
John,
I can.
ask you-
As
John,
John
can I
will
ask you a question?
testify, I can talk for hours if you let me. But
You won't be
as
there
my
again.
project lead, John trumps me in seniority.
John and Anna,
That's not true. That's not true. That's just not true.
I'm just grabbing another laptop. Hang on.
There we
I think
go.
it might be my
Another
laptop.
laptop.
There we go.
Yeah. Whatever.
Resilience. So Neil, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
I was just going to ask a question around the alphas. Have you had any feedback about the connotations about alpha males, etc.?
Oh,
Well,
Not yet,
I
but
don't
why
know if
don't you
John
give us some?
mentioned. I don't know if John mentioned what alphas actually stands for. So alphas.
he did. It took about 3 years.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't have my handy post-it note. Okay, that's fine.
You get it right in the end.
Good. I should think so.
Right. Okay. Anything else you want to say, Anna, before we go around the visitors and members? So Eugene, how are you, mate?
I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
How's your shed?
My shed.
That looks so cool, be there in that rustic environment.
But no, it's nice and cozy, and I'm COVID safe, so I'm really happy right now.
Right. Crack on and tell us about what you're doing.
Oh, right. Okay. I mean, I did.
And also how the tip relates to you in any way, if it does.
Well, funny enough, I've sent John a little message saying, yes, please, let's talk, because obviously I need to look at what I'm going to do in terms of marketing the brand new business. It's 10 days old now. But yeah, everybody, as far as I'm concerned, it took a long time to happen, but we've now launched Create My Legacy. And I can't believe the response that we've had. We launched it on Facebook. There's lots of marketing going out there. For those of you who don't know, Create My Legacy, it came about when my mother died. And when the celebrant came to see us, at that point, we realized that actually we knew very little or nothing about mum's life before we were just 5 or 6 years old. When we sat there for the actual funeral, actually, there's an awful lot missing from the service itself. So I ended up retiring, becoming a funeral celebrant, and I set up Create My Legacy Families. And how we started to market the pilot was when I got a service through and I had done the service, I spoke to the family and said, look, here is a way that I can help you. And it was great. Feedback was very, very positive, and they all picked up on it. So Create My Legacy has gone live. I've put the details up in the chat room. Please, please pass it on to friends, family, because we talk them through in very easy bite-sized ways how they can help themselves and families. So yeah, thank you, Mark.
I'm sure there's a lot of knowledge exchange you can do, Eugene, and maybe some use you could make of this scheme, because it's pretty, and I think also most of us can probably contribute to the learning part of the website as well. Yeah.
Eugene, we'd love to chat.
If anybody wants to get involved and work with me, because I'm still going through a learning curve, I'm happy to let you do it for free. I'm only going to do a few of these to do it for free, because the kind of things that I'm going to need, and it's important that I get testimonials. So that is why I would like you to go through the system with yourselves, with your parents, family, so that you can see what it's like, you can see how it's going to help you. You know, if I can get a testimonial in return to put up on the website, that'll be fantastic.
Well, do you know what, Eugene? I think what people should do for each other within the group and elsewhere is recommendations on LinkedIn, because they get trusted, and they help your LinkedIn, and then you can copy and paste them wherever you like. So there we go.
Lovely, thank you, Mark.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
Right. Okay, I think Ron, did you say you need to go 9:30? Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Thank
you. Go
you.
on then, Ron.
Okay, John, that was really interesting. There are a couple of things we're doing. Where I run a charity called Transitions UK. We work with young people who are in transition. In the
Not
Milton
that kind of
Keynes area,
transition,
it's
Ron.
particularly young people who are leaving care. But we've got a couple of infrastructure projects. We got a little bit of money from the lottery to launch a online service for young people, obviously in the pandemic and stuff, and we want to take that national. And what we need is expertise. There must be lots of expertise in the OU about making stuff available online and distributing that nationally. So I would love a conversation with whoever is the best contact to help us to do that. And maybe within the context of what you're doing on
Yeah.
alphas, that could be a project that also utilizes some of the expertise in the OU. That would be amazing. So I'd love to have a chat about that. The other thing we want to do is we're desperately trying to improve our infrastructure at the center. We want to, if we can, install Microsoft Dynamics into the organization. And I would love a conversation with somebody who could help us to do that and think about grants. And
Stuart Goldwater used to be a member. Ron,
Stuart has already scoped the project.
He's already part of you, isn't he?
Yeah. I just need 10 grand to make it happen.
Well, that's ideal because they're gonna apparently give you 30% of that.
Well, that would be great. Yeah. So I can't get a business
Ron
loan.
will do everything we can to help. Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. I think that this is slightly unusual that this Alphas project also includes charities and CICs. So that is good, Ron.
That would be amazing because try and get a business bounce back loan if you're a charity. Ha ha. So very difficult.
So and Ron, we have links also to Northampton and Bedfordshire. If we can't help, we're gonna put you through to them. They have.
I'll definitely be in touch, John. That's great.
That's
Thank you.
Ron.
So in 2 weeks' time, Ron, should we try and make these screens all purple?
Yes, please. So yeah, we run a thing called Purple Days. Our logo's purple, and so the idea is, as a business, you have a sort of business dress down day, but you call it a Purple Day, and you come in a purple wig and wear a purple hat and wear purple pants. You know, all of that.
How do you know about the pants, Ron?
Can I pay not to wear purple, please?
Sorry?
I thought you were going to say don't wear pants.
Okay.
We love Kay very much, and she works very closely with us, but apparently she hates purple.
Well,
So-
pink's the nearest I'll get.
Okay, well, yeah, I won't go there, Kay, but that's fine too.
Anything else you want to say, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things coming up. One is, if anybody fancies a walk over the Chiltern Hills a week on Sunday, we've got a 10-mile fundraising walk, which we're allowed to do safely. So we're doing that. So if you want to stretch your legs, and come with us, that would be great. We're starting at Albury at 9:30 in the morning. And the other thing we're doing,
Ron, I'll sponsor Stuart's funeral if he does that.
that sounds like a really good plan.
Now, Ron, could you also, for those of us who don't want to do it but might want to sponsor you, could you put the sponsorship link in the chat box?
I haven't got it here at the moment. Let me. What I will do is circulate it around the mailing list, so everybody's got it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Ron?
Just that it's exciting times, and I guess our biggest excitement was that we were able to put together a partnership that extended the Leaving Care project in Milton Keynes also into Aylesbury, High Wycombe, and Chesham. So that's been really, really exciting. It means we can more than double the number of young people that we're supporting, which is what we're here to do. So that's been the most exciting thing. So great.
That's fabulous. Okay, thank you very much. So Kay, how are you?
I just need to unmute myself.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it always helps.
Is that called the John button in your household?
No, it's just called the unmute button, surprisingly. No, I'm fine, thank you. I could do a bit more business and work, but hey, that's because business isn't looking up for everybody else, and we obviously feed off of them. But no, life is good. I'm alive, and that's all that matters. I've got to be honest, I definitely enjoyed the Alphas courses.
And will you implement any of it, though, Kay?
Well,
because that is one of the problems I find. People go on workshops and seminars, they love the information, and by the time they've gone away the next day, they've forgotten half of it.
Hey, what was your number one takeaway from yesterday?
From yesterday
Vindaloo.
was the Tableau software that we were using. It was brilliant. I wasn't aware of it. It's a public free piece of software, shown how to use it. It's something that I can use for my clients.
What's it called?
It's called Tableau. I don't want to give John's games away too early, but it's very, very useful.
What is that? Is that a Zoom alternative or something? What is it?
No. It's so you can analyze your figures from any tables or databases or Excel.
Oh, I see. So it's an analytical tool.
It is very much an analytical tool.
Brilliant. You can almost hear Neil salivating, can't you?
I am.
And I know a lot of people would say I'm quite sad, but I
wouldn't.
Blown away by.
Oh, Wood, you are very sad.
I know, and I loved seeing how the numbers transferred into graphical pictures, and yeah.
All right, so it can change it into graphs and
anything that allows business owners to collect more data and put it into layman's terms so they can understand it has got to be a good thing.
Absolutely. Can I give a bit of the game away, John? Is that all right? Yeah. We were given some sample data, which was just sales orders. So it had things like a name, a date, and what the goods were and where they were sold to. And within a few clicks of the button, I could see a map of the world with showing me all where my figures were, where my sales were, and things like that. So for a lot of people, they go, that's really boring. But the fact that I could see it and drill down on it on a map of Europe, I found interesting.
So that's called data porn, isn't it, really?
Probably, yes. But it was very interesting, to say the least.
What was the software again, please?
Tableau.
It's in the link. Link's in the.
It's in the link.
chat.
There we are. Oh yes,
I mean, that must be key information required by all single people businesses throughout the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The point is, unless you know it's there, then you can't use it.
There was irony in there, Kay. Come on.
Well, actually, no. I mean,
it
is strange because I think I had a customer who had a piece of software which enabled them to use their accounting software to drill down into their sales results. And it was amazing that many businesses, even employing salesmen, didn't really know what the salesman was doing.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's the old Warren Buffett quote, numbers is the language of business. If you can't speak the language, it's difficult to win the game.
This is it. I mean, that's what we're forever going into businesses and telling them and helping them to understand, to extract out of all that data that they've got in the system some sensible information. So the software Yesti certainly enhanced that for me. And yeah, as I said, I know I sound quite sad because I was really enthusiastic about it. It was good, and I wouldn't have found out about it without the Alphas course.
Well done. That's fabulous.
The other sessions were a bit not relevant for me. They were still useful. And there are other people on there, which means potentially other useful contacts.
I'm sure you could also add some learning to their learning site as well, Kay.
Yes.
While you've got bugger all else to do.
Well, something like that, yeah. Yeah, I must admit, because businesses, the SMEs and the likes aren't exactly thrilled at the situation, they're not prepared to take risks or anything like that. They're not developing their systems, they're not talking to their staff about more training at the moment, which means for us at the moment, things are a bit on the slow side. So we're looking at developing other areas to the business. So you never know, I might be knocking on your door saying, right, I need some help here and there, please.
Okay, fabulous. Well,
it's funny when I see finance applications that people who have that information, you have two identical businesses, but if someone's got that information and they send it across and they can show that they've got an oversight of everything that's going on, it's a much stronger application. It really makes the funder a lot more.
That is a very good point, David.
They'll go for it because they'll think this person knows what they're doing. This person's looking at the sales figures, they're looking at the numbers, rather than someone who goes, "Oh, here's my bank statements. That's all I've got."
I mean, that is a very good point. I mean, as a former bank manager, I can tell you that someone who came in with a nice fat document of all their stuff was already halfway through the door. It shows that you're looking after, you're managing things. Talking of managing things and data porn, I think, Neil, it must be your go.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Mark. John, Anna, thank you very much for that. I love your presentation. Being an alumni for probably one of your sister universities from New Zealand, Massey University, I spent 20 years in the military, and while I was being deployed around the world, I spent 7 years doing my business degree extramurally. So I love the OU or the concept of it.
It doesn't show though, Neil.
Thanks, mate. Look, anything online, I'll definitely be signing up for Alphas for Business and having a look at that. And I'd love to have a meeting with you guys about what we do. So just for
I'd imagine that's also something pretty useful for your clients as well, Neil.
Yeah, well, anything that's going to help them learning, but it obviously needs to be focused because we've all got day jobs. Okay,
really? Oh shit!
Got a certain amount of time.
Apart from Kay.
But for me, it is a big focus on data, and linked to that is just doing an announcement. So we're going to launch the next 2 weeks actually the business services agency that I've been pretty much developing for the last 2 years. So there's liverbunaccountancy.com and liverbunweb.com, which are going to be helping servicing the business coaching clients we've got. It's part of the Liverbun Group Business Services Agency. So it's very exciting. Got the team on board for that. Spent the last 2 years doing the development work and now moving into sales mode. So getting out there and marketing. On that, guys, look, things are going to be tough for the next 6 months, you know, with the business wise. So we've got a workshop. We're running a free workshop on Tuesday, the 6th of October from 12:30 to 2:30. It's online on Zoom. It's a free workshop. It's about life cycle marketing, sales, and customer services, how to automate a lot of that, how to get it more efficient. And its focus is how to generate more sales with less cost. Okay, there's lots of things that people aren't doing, e.g., I can almost guarantee everyone here isn't following up 100% of their contacts and leads they get for their business. If we just started doing that better, we'd end up getting a bit more sales as well. So, but we have day jobs. We have a leaky pipeline because we just get too busy. So you need to automate as much of that as you possibly can.
Or systemize it at least, don't you? Really?
Well, that's the same thing. Systemize, automate.
Well,
so,
yeah.
So
it could be systemized to humans as well, Neil.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely, it could be, but humans are fickle. I mean, like, I'm a big fan of CRM systems. They work 24/7, 365 days of the year, and they do what you program them to do. So as long as you program them correctly, so that's it's a great way to leverage your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John and Anne, I'd love to have a meeting with you guys, catch up with you. I'm just outside Milton Keynes. I'm out by Olney, so love to come.
Well, good luck with the presentation. Anything we can do to help, Neil, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we have a link for that, Neil?
It's in the chat line. Yep, links in the chat line.
Yeah, make sure you save it, and if you want to save it in a readable format, follow Peter's idea.
I've also got, guys, I put a link for the online Liverbun Lab, which is our business training membership site as well. There's lots of free courses on there for people. John and Anne, I'd love to have a chat to you guys about what we can do there. I've got hundreds of hours of videos on there, so I'm more than happy to share them.
Lovely. I would love to work with you. John, can you just make sure you save the chat for me, because I'm having serious technical difficulties this morning.
I can tell.
Yeah, that's automation for you. She tells John to do it. Okay, thank you very much, Neil. Anything else you want to say?
No,
okay.
Yeah, really interesting to see this today. So you're good.
Well, Mike, you must have enough to do at the moment. People selling stuff.
I've got a lot. It's not my dog, is it? No. I've got.
No, it's probably Stuart's dog.
Stuart's dog.
I'll just mute Stuart. There we are.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've got a lot to do. I'm selling businesses. Therefore, I am finding businesses for people to buy. Because it's really just, if you think about it, the important thing is going forward is that more people should have businesses as we're coming out of this thing, or as we start to come out of this thing, hopefully next year. The one thing that has occurred to me, thank you very much for the talk, John. I've clicked on your web links, and I'll have a look at those later to make up the fact that I didn't necessarily hear all your talk because some silly bugger kept interrupting you.
I must stop him coming to the meetings, Mike.
Well, if I could find out, I did ask on the chat whether there's anywhere muting you, and there must be a way. Just of you, not anyone else. So I could have heard the talk a bit. So I could have heard the talk a bit better. But it was interesting, and it does occur to me there's millions of people sitting at home that are furloughed. There are hundreds of thousands, whatever the number is, of small business owners who are either struggling for enough business and haven't got time to fill their days. And one thing these people could do is to use the time to educate themselves. Yeah. Somebody like the OU, is there. I presume you're state-owned. I don't know who owns it.
They are state-owned, yeah. It's Harold Wilson's creation from the 60s.
I actually have been to the OU probably hundreds of times, but only to play table tennis in the evening. So that doesn't really count as education. But
they have got lovely facilities.
Oh yeah, they've got a big hall there where they play table tennis, and a green room where they play table tennis, which was always too warm.
I've been into a couple of lecture theatres as well.
Yeah,
we only have
that's more than me.
I think the big hall is a lecture room as well if they put the stairs forward. So yeah, it's a lovely place, and maybe they're still not doing enough to put the message around. But you know, something I think we did learn. So perhaps, John, you could find some more groups to talk to, and perhaps some will actually let you get you talking. That's really good. So thank you very much. That's all I've got to say.
Is there a mute button for you? Yes, there is.
Yes, I know there is. If anyone knows anyone that's going to sell a business, that's really what I'm more interested in at the moment. I haven't got enough businesses to sell. People aren't coming on the market at the moment, apart from lots of shops that I'm selling. So if anyone knows a business to sell, I'm really happy to talk to them. I'll do them a good deal at the moment so I can get more businesses for people to buy.
I think, Mike, as well, with you, you've got a lot of knowledge base in your book, etc. You could probably repurpose some of that into the learning platform that they've got.
I'd love to help people with learning. I'm happy to put a bit of time in for nothing for it. I'm happy to do that.
I'm sure it gets some sort of backlinks and it gets some kudos and all that kind of thing if you're associated with the OU.
Not so bothered about the. Yeah, I suppose I am, but I suppose we all are really. But yeah, happy to do that.
Okay.
Can I ask Mike, you said about selling shops. So you're selling the property or the business?
I'm selling. We've been appointed by
the furniture.
McColl's group, who are Martins. So they've got the Martins in Bletchley High Street. They've got several McColl's stores in Milton Keynes. I'm not selling, but the Martins in Bletchley, Queensway, sorry, which we have found. We've got found a buyer for that if it goes through. And over the country, we've got 100 and odd stores for them, and maybe some more coming on. So we're selling McColl's as convenience stores, as going concerns. You have to rebadge them. You can't continue to sell them as McColl's. And every time I put one on the market, I can guarantee I get 40 telephone calls a day because they're quite cheap and people think they're real bargains. They're not, because they're not actually really that profitable. But somebody with the right mindset can make them profitable.
They're probably quite good family businesses, aren't they?
They are good family businesses if you. To be honest, I'm sorry to say this, but you probably now have to reduce the staff a little bit because they tend to be overstaffed for the costs relative to what a convenience store can actually make. Either that, or you can increase the staff and increase the sales. You know, it depends how you want to do it. Convenience stores have been doing really, really well this way. It's obvious people are not going into town, they're not going to jobs, so they're relying more on local convenience stores. And the good ones are doing. You know, I've spoken to convenience store owners who are doing free deliveries, and there was one guy the other day who said I'd take them around a packet of cigarettes if they're elderly and sheltering themselves. I don't care,
even if they don't smoke.
Even if they don't smoke, yeah.
Repeat custom then.
Yeah, not for long though.
You know, they're getting themselves a good reputation. Hopefully they will keep customers because of it.
The ones they're taking round. Mike, the ones that are taking around packets of cigarettes to, if you could refer them to Eugene, you'll have a customer shortly.
Yeah.
Well, they tend to be elderly people, so yes, Eugene would probably want to know their addresses as well.
Okay.
No, Mike, the reason I was asking, because of course, I mean, it's all in the press that the retail industry is going to sort of be decimated, but it isn't. It isn't the whole sector, as it were, the elements of it that are
not convenience stores. Every convenience store I've spoken to is up 20-30% this year, or 10, 15, 20%, something like that.
So if they're going so well, why are they being sold?
Why are they what? Sorry, Angus?
Why are they being sold if they're doing so well?
These aren't still that profitable. They decided. Firstly, they decided.
So they're not doing so well then.
Well, they are doing well relative to what they were doing before. They were actually losing money. Now they're probably about breaking even, to be honest. Angus.
So they're doing very badly then.
I mean, this is just someone going back to their core, Angus. Coles are selling their smaller shops off.
Yeah, it depends. It depends what your angle is. I wouldn't recommend you buy one, Angus, if that's what you're asking.
No. It just seems, I mean, yes, the convenience sector may be growing, but it's or rather doing okay. But relative to everything else, it's still pants. So
yeah,
relative to everything else, food.
Well, I would say that
home cleaning businesses.
I would say in like the retail sector.
Relative to the rest of the retail sector, the food convenience sector is doing well, full stop.
So there you go.
There you go.
Now we know.
I've seen a lot of these with
let John. Oh, David, what do you want to say?
Sorry, I've seen a similar thing. It was a lot of boot stores, and they were profitable and doing well. But they weren't making the margins that the bigger groups wanted. So they got rid of the less profitable ones, and they were still good stores and still making money. They just weren't making the money that someone looking at a spreadsheet wanted them to make. So
they probably couldn't carry the management overhead, whereas when you buy them independently, they haven't got a management overhead. So
no, you run them yourself.
Yeah.
And you run them with less staff than McColl's will run them with. That's where the cost normally comes.
And at the post office or something like that, PayPoint, things like that.
And if you're an independent operator, you lose the rates, whereas McColl's is still paying the rates because it's a big company, so they don't get the rate relief at £12,500 that an independent will get. So there's all sorts of reasons why they can be more profitable.
Okay. So talking of profitable, Tony Williams, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you, John. Anna, that was interesting. I'm a bit guilty. I'd never thought of the OU for help and advice. So I'm glad to know you're there. I know it's shocking, isn't it?
Only accountants can give business advice, Tony.
Yeah, we're pretty good at it, but I won't profess to give advice on marketing or production or whatever. But it's nice to know that there are resources out there that I can point my clients to. So I think I'm pretty good at telling them where the problem is. But if it's marketing, I'm not going to tell them how to sort it out.
Well, at least you've got another resource you can point them in the direction of now, haven't you?
That's absolutely, And I look forward to catching up with John and Anna, see if there's anything I could do to help them out as well, have a chat.
Yeah, I'm sure, again, you've got knowledge to exchange in the learning part.
Yeah, and I've had a good week, actually.
Well
I
done.
finally convinced one of my clients, partly because of COVID, to actually have a real serious look at his business and what's going right and what's going wrong.
But his reaction, oh shit.
Yeah, a lot of businesses have hidden behind COVID, haven't they? And actually, it's just exposed some underlying problems. And I think following on from what Neil said, but I think there are tougher times to come because the whole world's going to be a whole lot more competitive moving forward than it was previously. So if you haven't got your act together pretty quick, then in 6, 12, 18 months' time, you're probably going to be struggling. So I
think now is the time to start planning like mad.
Yeah.
I think Neil was in the box seat there, isn't he?
Yeah. I work with clients that their solution to downturns is just sell more. And that's great if you can sell more, but I think you're going to have to sell more, but possibly cheaper. I don't know.
To some extent, there's no point in doing that, is there? Because when you do that, you just work harder to get the same or less money.
Well, I think the other thing too, guys, is that it is possible to actually downsize and become more profitable as well. You just got to look at your numbers a bit more, and you've just got to, get very lean. So, is that an exercise that everyone has done? So because I know a lot of business owners that just haven't done that yet, and they are starting to look at it. So, you can downsize and still become more profitable.
Well, you can downsize, can't you? Watch your cost base by, I don't know, make your staff work more efficiently. Make sure you've got the right resource in your business.
Employ some of Neil's robots.
Yeah, not carrying people that are either underperforming or just don't have the skills you really want.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that you need to understand how your processes work and how they work in the new marketplace.
Can't imagine why you said that, James.
Well,
I can't imagine why you said that either.
Here's a foreign concept that the government hasn't been promoting. What about actually asking your team to work harder? Well, it's tough for everybody. What about getting to work longer hours, not less? Ask them to be more productive and actually help the business out so it can continue paying them wages in the future.
Well, I think Neil, under the new scheme, as opposed to furlough, you'll be allowed to do that. Under the furlough scheme, one of the problems was you couldn't ask the staff to do anything when they're supposed to be furloughed.
Well,
apart from supposedly training, but even that was a bit dodgy. I had loads of people say I can't come to networking because I'm on furlough.
We've all got to increase our productivity, guys, and that means, and for most of us, it means doing a lot more marketing and sales.
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Tony?
Well, I think just to Neil's point there, I don't think you could just say you've got to work harder. I think there's a lot of problems within management where they don't make it clear what people's objectives are, what they could do to improve, where they want to take the company. Basically communicate. It's very easy to say somebody's not performing or not doing the job, but I reckon more times than not it's because they've never been told what it is is expected of them.
I
So
wasn't
we've got to be a whole lot more professional. Yeah, I
I
know.
wasn't suggesting people weren't performing. Okay, I was just asking them to work more. You know, help the company grow.
Well, run the business professionally.
Yeah, I mean, the communication thing, Tony, is a good point, because often people get told what to do as a sort of regimented thing rather than why they're doing it and what the overall goal is. And sometimes if they knew what the overall goal for the whole organization was, they might be more motivated to do it and think outside the box and do some other interesting things.
I mean, the laughable thing about that, Tony, is if you've got people that aren't performing and you're paying them, what the hell are you doing? Jesus, as a manager.
Yeah, but is it? That's right.
Well, Tony's obviously borrowed Anna's internet connection there. Are you anything else you want to say, Tony?
No, I'll stop at that.
Are you sure? Oh dear.
Interesting. You go on, Tony.
Oh dear. We've come to Neil, not Neil, to Stuart, who I got to. You go unmute yourself, Stuart. Stuart. Oh, there he is.
What?
Yeah, I muted you briefly because of the dog barking. That's why you had to ask to unmute. So how are you, Stuart?
All right.
Who told you that? What do you want to say, Stuart? Come on then. You're normally verbose.
No, I'm not. It's you that I listen to. It's like a morning with Mark Orr, isn't it? Do you remember those programs on TV, an evening with someone? I think, thanks for this talk, John. I was very interested in what you had. I had some of your guys from the OU on the radio program, on my business program last year. Very good. I've spoken to listen a bit more to Anna. When the programs restart on MKFM in the spring, I'll be inviting them back. I think the OU is a great resource. If it's right for your business. With mine, it's not. And what I'm doing, it's not. I have no use for it. So,
what's your business?
Well, Stuart, you could probably do some knowledge exchange and put some stuff on there, because you've written your book, Mind Your Own Business, for example, haven't you?
Yeah, I only did that for a laugh, though. It's not my fault it's selling.
I can tell you, it wasn't much of a laugh, mate.
No.
I presume you're an Amazon bestseller.
Amazon bestseller, so he is.
No. Unfortunately, what happened there, Angus, is that I've sold a lot of them, but unfortunately, I've sold them through me. And when you sell them, I've been sending them abroad. And when you buy them yourself, you don't get credited with the sale.
Oh, really?
So I shot myself in the foot.
No, you don't.
I was saying to Mark
how
yesterday.
do I buy one?
Sorry, you can buy one, but I mean,
put a link in there for me to buy one, please. I want to be.
Are you struggling to sleep, Angus?
No, I want to learn about being a better business person.
Oh.
And I respect Stuart for what
really?
he does.
You don't need MYOB to tell you how to be a better businessman. It tells you how to launch a business.
It's about starting a business.
Yeah, the easy way.
Yeah.
I still want to read it.
Without all, okay. Yeah,
And you say it with a straight face.
Sorry?
No, I do. I do want to read it. I want to read
This is
it.
a brilliant anti-sell. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fucking buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll
Look,
we'll make sure you get a copy.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Stuart, of any relevance, or do you want the dogs to do it?
No, the dogs are quiet at the moment because I had to follow. I got
You fed him.
this helicopter landing pad out the back, and I've just had a delivery of wood. Huge
Oh,
amount
right,
of
okay.
wood. So that's why the dog went batshit.
Mm.
So anyway, as I was saying, John, before I was very rudely interrupted, as normal by Mark, is we'll be inviting people back on the program again next year, and I think the OU resource area is very good. I've been there many times to some of the lectures there, and also to the networking meetings.
Oh, you've come to the OU Business School with me, haven't you?
Sorry?
You've come to the OU Business School with me, haven't you, a couple of times?
Yeah, and I many times outside of going with you, and I did apologise to them, saying, "I'm sorry, I was with Mark last time." I said, "But you must forgive." So yeah, things are good. I know things are tight for people. Things are good. Things are okay. You know, what can I say? Chugging along, just doing your best, keeping your head above water. I think you'll be doing well.
All right.
In the second wave is coming along. Whether people agree with it or not, it looks like it. And I think if you're running a business now where you can keep your head above water, you're doing well, I think.
Fab. Thank you very much.
That's it.
Angus, How are you?
Yeah, I am really well actually. A bit loving this lockdown. It's done wonders for me and for my business, which is great. So
So
and John,
you now sponsoring Boris Johnson?
Yeah, the whole thing. A stitch in time saves 9. That's
Yeah.
my line. John, that was fantastic. I had no idea. The Open University did what you've just said. The open learn and create stuff. Wow, what a fantastic resource. And I'd never ever thought about it. There's loads of people I know that would actually benefit.
You must have loads of stuff that you could put on there.
Well, I've just actually made a list of some of the stuff that I could add there, because I am the LinkedIn unlocker. I magnetize profiles to attract the best, repel the rest, increase sales, all that malarkey.
You learned that off by heart, didn't you?
I have, yeah. It's my BNI pitch. But essentially, I'm actually finding that I'm working with more people now about their positioning, about their prospecting, because your LinkedIn profile will come above your website if you put your name in. LinkedIn is doing the hard yards. Yeah, and LinkedIn is doing the hard yards that most people's websites never even could. And it's really is where it's at. And for you not to be using events as well, John, events now have changed completely. So just to get an event up, which is linked back to the Open University, would be a really good way.
I think that might be Anna's job.
Yeah.
John's.
Anna.
And I'd love to talk to you some more about that.
Anna, just connect with me and we can have a chin wag and a Zoom and all that malarkey.
Perfect.
I'm based in Berkhamsted. I do go to Milton Keynes. My sat nav reaches that far.
You've got a passport and everything, haven't you?
I've got a passport. I've got a phrase book. I've got everything.
The phrase book is important.
Yeah, phrase book. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, would love to have a chat.
Thanks, Angus.
Perfect.
And yeah, if anyone wants any help with LinkedIn, think of it as a positioning document more than anything now. So once you've got your positioning right, your prospecting follows, and a lot of people haven't even got their keywords in their about section. And think of your about section as addressing business owners' underlying triggers. What keeps your client awake at night? Not
my wife.
You haven't got one.
Wives, plural. That's why he's got 5. That's why he's got 5 LinkedIn profiles.
He's modelled himself on Henry VIII, isn't he?
4.5.
He's modelling himself on Henry VIII, isn't he?
And thank you very much, David, for accepting the connection request. Fantastic.
No problem at all. Happy to speak.
Yeah, good. Yes.
Any top tips on LinkedIn events, Angus?
I think that you've just got to word it and actually name it properly. A lot of people are really boring about, best networking event Friday. You want to be putting in a name, best Milton Keynes networking event.
Right.
So you
want some keywords in there.
Keywords in the title.
All right.
And I'd go back to the James Pybus tool, and I'd actually use keywords.
So you would.
So I would there. I would use his tool for whatever you need.
You're talking about another tool there, are you?
No, James Pybus has a free keyword tool, which is fantastic for sort of Google Analytics, everything else.
He should put his stuff onto this.
He should.
OU learning thing, shouldn't he, as well?
And just keyword tool.
I actually used James Pybus's keyword search tool, that he's been promoting recently. And had a chat with him about it earlier this week. And I've got to tell you, it is for my biographies, and it is a fabulous tool. And it
is.
We'll have to introduce you to this, John, and Anna, because this is free.
Please.
It's free, but it's the most comprehensive keyword research tool you can use. And it even comes with its own videos to show you how to use it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
So there we go. Anything else you want to say, Angus?
No, just happy to help anyone who wants a quick 5-minute call for a bit of help with a kind of linkity in.
Okay.
It's about keywords, it's about presence, it's about positioning.
So we'll now move on to the angel that is Peter Leeson.
Thank you, John and Anna. Sorry, you didn't get to participate as much. Big fan
Me
of
too,
the
sorry.
Big fan of the OU. Loved the 50th anniversary public. Lectures
there,
last year.
Peter.
I attended as many as I could.
And Have you ever lectured there, Peter?
I have not lectured there, but I am open to.
Okay.
So my business is helping companies with culture problems. So how can you change the culture? And by culture, I mean the way employees act when management isn't there. How do you make sure that they are supporting you? How do you get the communication in place correctly so that they know what is the objective and can actually improve the way? So more education, less training. Training teaches them to follow the steps and always do the same thing. Education is teaching them to find out what's wrong with the steps and what should be the right way, and how to create a process that works. Definitely interested in your online trainings there, and I would like to propose a few of my own. Okay. I've got an online training coming up on the 7th and 8th of October. I've put in the links there to Eventbrite. 7th of October, it's at 8:30 in the morning. 8th of October, it's at 8 o'clock at night, so that I'm covering all time zones in the world, but it's basically the same course both times, or the same workshop. Okay. It is interactive. You will be expected to participate. You will be expected to think about your own problems regarding culture.
That puts most of us out thinking.
And no, Mark, most people here do think when they've got a chance to actually hear somebody else speak.
Bleeding foreigners.
Okay.
So that's about it. Love to participate more with the OU because I'm a big fan of the OU.
I'll have a look at those links for you, Peter, and see if I can share them around and promote them for you.
Yeah, and please do get in touch, because we even if as alphas can't specifically help you, we do have obviously contacts within the university that we can then pass you around and hopefully get you some more exposure, if nothing else, of the right sort, Mark.
Yeah, well, what were you thinking of, Anna?
You're learning fast, Anna.
What a dirty mind she's got.
Well anticipated.
You'll never know.
We haven't even this time seen Jane's feline friend. Have we, Jane? No. Anyway, David, who's not local, welcome to Business Growth Club.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm not very local. I did go to Milton Keynes last year, but it was very fleeting visit to watch some football and then come straight back up to the northwest.
Did we win or did you win?
It was actually a draw.
Oh, was it?
It was a long way. It was a cold day, and
that sounds like the MK Dons.
It wasn't very.
Actually, Jane would have been at that match, probably taking photographs of it.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
What's your club?
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Oh, right.
Things are good for me at the moment.
Nothing. They haven't done any good recently, have they?
No, not really.
Aren't they the ones with the taxi driver as a goalkeeper?
What?
As a taxi driver?
Yeah, taxi driver as a goalkeeper. Always lets five in the back.
Oh dear. There we go. The old ones are always the oldest.
I'm groaning, but I'm writing it down. I'll reuse that.
So tell us about you, David.
I heard the Liverpool goalkeeper was called Dracula because he was paranoidly frightened of crosses.
Anyway, David, get on with it.
Back to time, Mark. Thank you very much. And a few months ago, I thought, was a big pandemic coming. I know what I'll do. I'll leave my job and I'll set up on my own. With three others. So I worked for a funder. I worked for someone who had their own pot of money, but we had other things, and it was a case of being told, this is what we need to do for our business rather than what's best for the customer. And I just thought, this isn't right. This isn't what I want to do. So we left, we set up, we're now an independent finance provider with over 75 different funding lines and different things that we can offer. And yeah, here I am trying to plug up as much business in these dark, dreary times as possible.
So David,
David, do you finance property? Do you finance property projects?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do kind of development funding, commercial mortgages, unsecured loans. A lot of what we do is tax and VAT funding, spreading the cost of that. But that's I haven't actually looked in properly because I was out and about yesterday, so I don't know what the how much the government's put me out of business with their interest-free offerings.
Well, I was just thinking though, David, as well, if you've got this Alpha scheme where they're funding 30% of a £10,000 project, maybe you could fund the other 70. I don't know whether that's allowed in the.
Hey, David, a good target market might be freelancers with a bit of equity behind them because they got nothing out of the government for the last few months, so they'll be looking for finance.
Yeah,
Sorry, can
absolutely.
you say that?
There's three.
Sorry, Anna, did you miss something?
Yeah, I didn't. You said something about using freelancers, and my internet cut out slightly, and so I didn't catch all of it.
So what Neil said
was
about,
yeah,
it's about 3 million people who haven't got any sort of help from the government, who fell through the cracks. I know I've got a friend who's a photographer, a wedding photographer, and she's got absolutely nothing from the government at all. She's really struggling because obviously no one's getting married at the moment.
Not even a piece of cake.
So there's a lot of scope to be able to help there. For myself, it's just finding these people and speaking to them and seeing what we can do for them.
Now, I did also suggest to David, because this is David's first meeting here, and obviously he's from the Northwest, not local, but I'm looking for tippers, not necessarily from the area. And I don't know whether anybody else would like a tip on finance, business finance, whether that might be a good subject. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, always a good subject to do that. David, you might want to consider advertising for freelancers on Facebook, and also speak to Angus about how you do it on LinkedIn. Take it on LinkedIn. So
yeah, absolutely. I've connected with Angus in about 14 seconds as soon as I saw what he does, because I've gone from a very draconian get on the phone, pick up the phone, cold call your customers. That's how you're gonna be. That's how we've always got our customers, and that's how we do it. And then we've left and we've been looking at buying data and doing cold calling. And then we just LinkedIn was always, it was the devil. It was like the company couldn't control what you were doing on LinkedIn, so they didn't like it. So we've come onto LinkedIn and had so much success with it, done a few networking events, and anything that can make me more proficient on LinkedIn or on networking events and things like that. Go back to the football pun, I'll jump in with 2 feet.
And be sent straight off.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else you want to say, David?
No, not a lot really. I'm just always, if anyone's got any for themselves, or if they know of anyone or any clients or any partnerships that they're looking at, then feel free to drop me a message. And if it's not something I can do, I'll try my best to find a solution for you.
Yeah, I was interested. That was one of the things that David lends money on is lawyers with disbursement funds that need to be funded, which I'd never thought of, to be honest with you. So thank you, David, for coming, and we'll have a chat about whether we can fit you in for a tip. James, go on, sorry.
A quick question. David, do you loan on building for property development, did you say?
Yes, we do. So there's a lot of effectively, as long as it's business requirements, which we can do it. So it's a legal business requirement, should we say, that we can do it. So if it's property development or recruitment or no, but if you've got a big tax bill and you want to free up some cash to buy the drugs, then we can do the tax bill.
So are you a finance broker, effectively?
Yeah. So we are. We're in a good position where we don't have a lot of finance brokers have a funder will say you need to do £1 million with us this year, or we're going to take the funding line off you. But because of the relationships that the four of us have had previously, we don't have any of those targets really. So we can do, because we were all about doing what's best for the customer, not for the funder. So that's something that we're quite keen on.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, James, what's your process for this meeting?
What my process for this me? Well, since the last one I came to, where I got hammered by some other visitor person.
Who was
I'm
that?
sitting,
Could that be another man called Peter?
I can't remember. He was from sort of Essex way. He was an art shop person.
Oh yes, John
Yeah,
Brandler.
What is it? Was it? Yeah, okay.
What did he say to you then? What was wrong?
Well, I wasn't looking at the camera because I was so excited about what we were talking about. I was using a personal email address rather than a company one, and also I didn't have a website because I was leaning on LinkedIn for my communications.
Oh, you're an evil bastard, aren't you? Really?
I know. All of those evils have been corrected since then, and I'll put the contact details into my.
I think he suffers. I like the phrase, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Well, maybe.
And he hadn't worked out, you hadn't worked out how much you cared. Oh, shut up, Stuart.
Anyway, well, on that point, and to paraphrase something that Anna was talking about Angus having his phrase book, I'm going to connect phrase book with praise and phase. Because since we last met, or since I last met you here, Mark, and some of the other people as well, I had a message from one of the people I'm doing the project with that says the whole team have enjoyed working with you. So that's the praise bit, and the other part was, and we're very pleased that I've agreed to work with them in future phases. So I feel sort of rather buoyed by that.
James, can I just say to you, when you get those kind of emails or text messages, go on to LinkedIn and ask them for a recommendation to confirm.
Yeah, no, I think I will do. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah.
Google my business.
Sorry? And Google my business. Yes, of course.
And Google my business.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me just write that one down. Sorry. So we were talking about sort of developments, competition, and processes, and how you do things. And John and Anna, I think what you opened up a lot of our eyes, mine included, to what are the opportunities there. I've only ever seen OU material from sort of the kind of academic side before, and they have great what's the word? Support for people who are doing an OU course, because you know how hard they have to work when they're when they're doing work anyway. But also the other side of it is the quality of the materials that are produced. Now, I mean, and I guess
you would have been brought up with those lovely chaps on BBC Two in their kipper ties.
4 in the morning.
Was that John? No, was that you, John?
More recent.
You're muted, John. John's muted.
Yeah, it wasn't me, but I remember those days really well.
Yeah. No, more recently than that. But anyway, but in this stage of increased competition, as was said by a number of people, how you actually do things. I mean, you've got to get more customers. Yeah. How can you achieve that? By making your product processes more consistent, so that people know what it is they're going to get when they buy your service. As Mark knows, if you go from a previous exercise, if you go to a hotel and they cook the breakfast perfectly on the first day, but not on the second day, you'll be disappointed about that and be confused, and might choose another holiday, another hotel next time.
That's an interesting point, though, James. We went to an Indian restaurant in Hemel Hempstead with some friends of ours, and she is an Indian lady and goes there frequently. And we had an absolutely fabulous meal, was served beautifully.
Yeah.
So the following week on the way back from London, we thought we'd do that again.
Yeah.
It was crap.
Yeah.
So without that, it was crap,
Yeah. And you'll probably never go there again, will you?
No, we won't.
So, which is, it can destroy any potential customer loyalty.
Yeah.
But processes change because we want to have things done in different ways. And we talked about, Google search and websites and LinkedIn and so on, just in the conversation today. And I think companies, businesses need to kind of reconsider that. And sometimes, well, I think often an outside view sees where the gaps are. And that's where I stand in. So thank you very much. Yeah, and thanks, John and Anna, for being Anna being persistent with the internet connections.
Well, I think Anna's going to apply for 30% towards her internet costs.
Totally.
So she can get some.
Forgive me, guys. Anna, what's your last name? Are you on LinkedIn?
White. She
Okay.
is on LinkedIn, and she'll even let you connect with her, Neil.
I will.
Neil, we're
Connect with
already
me.
connected. We've been connected for a while, I think.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
connected with John, but I haven't
All
connected.
right. Thanks, James.
Thank
The
you,
lovely
yeah.
Jane.
Nice
How
of
are you,
you.
Jane, darling?
I'm very well. I was just going to say, I'm sure he said, Anna, what's your last name?
I know that, but
Not
I decided
Mark,
to butt in.
what's Anna's last name?
Well, because Anna's got a shit internet connection, I never knew whether it's going to come through or not. Oh, get on with it, woman. I think we'd rather have a cat on the screen.
He's asleep upstairs. I went to check. That was really interesting. I did, to be honest, I've lived around here a long time and been to the OU for many things, but didn't really understand that they do things to help businesses and what have you.
Well, you live quite
We've only
near to
just
the OU
started.
as well. You live quite near to the OU, don't you? It must be 5 minutes away.
Yeah, it is 5 minutes away, and I've been many times for many things for the local newspapers, but I had no idea that they did that as well. So you need to market it a bit better, and I can help.
Excellent.
But with fabulous pictures of empty buildings.
Fabulous pictures, yes. Well, I don't really know what else to say. I'm a
Go on.
photographer. Times are tough. It's been very quiet.
Yeah.
I try and do things on LinkedIn. I do need to find out how to target people a little bit more on LinkedIn because I don't quite understand it.
Well, Angus can show you that, and if he can't, I can.
Yeah, that's the only thing, because people always suggest things, which I do, and then I think, but I don't actually know how to target people. How do you actually find them to target?
Yeah.
I mean, it is easier if you can afford the Sales Navigator thing, but
Right.
you can still do enough in the normal one.
Yeah.
There's even free workshops on LinkedIn to do all that stuff. So,
There is.
Yeah.
Right, I will try.
Oh yeah, Neil could probably tell you as well.
Yeah.
It's it's quite good for targeting actually.
Is it?
Oh yeah, and I think as well, people go for big niches, and you need to go for small ones.
Yes.
In your case, locality matters a lot. So there we go.
Okay.
But we can have a chat about that whilst walking, if you like.
Okay. Consider that sorted then. I'm a photographer. I photograph everything because I'm a press photographer. So I do events, conferences, headshots, buildings, interiors, construction, you know,
matches, toys, sliding doors.
football matches. Yes.
Oh, have you been photographing the football matches while they're not allowed to have fans in?
Yeah.
Are you okay? You still doing it? So do you stand up and cheer every so often then, or you're
No, there's been not a lot to cheer about, to be honest.
Are you willing to shoot Stuart for us there, Jane?
Sorry, say that
Are you
again.
willing to shoot Stuart for us there?
She hasn't got a wide angle lens.
I can shoot Stuart.
Hang on, belly laugh. I haven't heard that for years.
Since yesterday.
A week.
Good.
Anything else you want to say, Jane?
No, that's it.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I'm sure you've got some knowledge to share as well in the OU stuff.
I have probably got some knowledge to share.
Yeah, we've got fuck all else to do. Get on with it.
Well, just gardening.
There we go. Anyway, talking of... No, I'm not going to say that. Do you want to unmute yourself, John Pratt? What? Unmute yourself. I know you're an accountant and you're boring, but don't worry about it. I mean, Tony's an accountant, but he's not boring. Tony's really interesting.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Is that another tenner I owe you?
No, I'm just good at lying. John, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. I had to do a school run, so I'm
Did
late.
you?
Yeah.
Right. They're still going to school then?
Yeah. We have to wear a mask now in the playground.
Well, that's not because of COVID. That's because you're ugly.
Probably.
You can take it off now, John.
Tony, you should get Mark to write that on your not a boring accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have a word.
Sorry, I only came on because Anna, sorry, obviously I missed it all. Is it possible to send me the details?
I can send you the video if you like, John.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I sort of wanted.
And if I've got it right, this has been Facebook Live.
Oh yeah, that's it on Facebook. Wow.
Okay, so everyone's seen me disconnecting 50,000 times.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Love it.
I've just completely destroyed your reputation.
That's all right. I didn't have one to start with.
John.
Anything else you want to say, John?
No, I want to ask John a question. John, were those green-coloured, gruesome, awful, diabolical stalls actually for the office, or was it publicity stunt?
They're for the office.
Oh,
I'm not
shit.
there. I would have shown you. We've got chairs the same colour as well, Stuart.
No.
Yeah.
I thought that was a shrewd piece of attractive marketing, attention seeking for response levels.
It's to make people green with envy.
They absolutely look horrendous, don't they? I didn't choose them. I let the staff choose. That was my first mistake.
Anyway, John, you missed a very good 10-minute tip.
Well, I know, that's why I read your email. So I thought I'd come on just to ask you, did I have to record it?
But never mind, it is recorded, and you can probably even get the chat as well if you want to.
Well, if it's on Facebook Live, it'll be on the Facebook page. You can go and watch.
Hopefully it will be, yeah, but I've never done it before, so I might have cocked it up.
Well,
let's hope so.
You haven't, it is on
Facebook. Their right mind would want to sit through this.
Well, the top left hand side there, Mark, is see on the screen there, says live on Facebook. So
yes, it does.
Yeah, someone will complain about Mark's inappropriate swearing words. So someone will
be locked up in Iran before too long.
Yeah.
I'm told there's space there. So, John, what's the wacky world of accounting doing then, John?
What's the wacky?
Oh, for Christ's sake, that can't be a serious question.
Well, come on, I've just got. Well,
you don't have to go until 10 o'clock.
Kay wants to say something. Kay.
Can I dive in with a sensible comment? John,
oh no, you don't want to do that.
John, it's worth you looking into the Alphas things for you and for your clients. I've recently done it, so if you want any other information from a recipient point of view, give me a buzz.
Cool, brilliant.
It's well worth it.
Okay, John, you can't say much else because you haven't heard anything.
Yeah, you just got tax has been delayed again for 12 months. Anyone with a bounce back loan can now pay over 10 years. 10 years now.
Wow, yeah. I'm looking forward to that then. I'm not giving that money back, 2.5% of 10 years. That's gonna upset David.
I'm not gonna give it back, period. Yeah. I know how to crash a company.
Yeah, you've done several.
You'd be surprised how many people have openly gone, I'm just not going to pay it back.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, it's the problem.
98% of them, David.
When you give it a small,
have a way of coming after those people.
Yeah,
well, no, but if it's a small limited company, you just go bust.
No, you can go after directors. They've pulled it. If they're taking it out with illegal dividends, they'll go after directors. People think that they can shut the limited company down.
Oh yeah, it depends how they go bust, obviously. Because
if you take it out as a salary, so if you take 10 grand as a salary and you go bust.
But I mean, how many people, John, have been prosecuted for fraudulent trading in companies since they brought it in 30 years ago? Would you like to tell me? It doesn't even use the fingers of one hand. There we go.
I think that might be different now, Mark. I think
you think they might try it.
If you've screwed up your furlough claims, I think you've run a real risk now.
That's a bit different, yeah.
Yeah,
it's all in the same thing, isn't there? There'll be more effort to get people that cheated.
Yeah. I think the government fraud department is going to quadruple in size over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And let's face
it, he'll probably pay all this money back that they've lent out, so we won't have to pay increase in our taxes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
The small guys as well, because it's easy to go to the small guys and the big companies.
Let's move on to John
the good
Dale.
Thing about it is if you delay enough, you'll be dead before you have to get to court.
John Pratt, have you said enough? Can I go on to John Dale?
Yeah.
John, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How's your small furry primate?
Oh, he's not doing too well at the moment. But
talk about you.
All right. The Tarsia UK is where I'm from. I've been Open University a number of times.
You still failed, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, my university is the other side of the city, Buckingham University. But I've had good and bad with the Open University. Certainly, as Mark and Stuart have said, the networking there is fabulous. It's really, really, really good. All sorts of different topics. I've been to seminars there, which have been also very good. But when I tried to contact the Open University about a possible NHS link-up, I got 6 different people, none of whom knew how to do it. And
Anna is now smiling.
I even went down to the Open University and nobody could point me to the person that I needed to talk to.
It's a big problem, John. I apologise for that. Really.
Sorry, Jane is quite right. There are some things that need to be addressed at the Open University, but you know, when you're good, you're excellent.
Yeah, the things that you've and others have spoken about in terms of not having appropriate teams set up to deal with the local businesses is something we're just starting to address now, and Alphas is part of that setup process. We've never really, I don't think
you could see how hard it is for us.
Yeah.
Well, it must be a bit dispiriting sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is from our point of view.
Have you said everything, John?
No, I was just going to say that for those who don't know, the tarsier is an endangered species. It is up there, and there's about 5,000 Philippine tarsiers left in the world, and we call it the barometer of the world because they were here when dinosaurs were here, and if they disappear, then the chances are the planet itself will fail. And so what I'm doing at the moment is moving from an educational website to an environmental organization. And we've just had our educational website rebuilt free of charge for us by a lovely lady called Jill Clark. She's rebuilt it for us completely. And the next step now will be to look at getting some people involved in the organisation of a group which will go forward for small, medium and enterprises to help them make themselves more environmentally friendly and give them an award for that process. There'll be a staged awards, and as they go through the staged awards, then they'll get different logos and things like that. So that's the idea, and starting in Milton Keynes with the Milton Keynes organisations, and then moving out after that.
Okay. Well, John, I mean, obviously, as I've pointed out before, and I think they've pointed out as well, this Alphas thing also applies to charities and societies,
it does.
Which you're a charity, registered charity, are you not?
We're not a registered charity because we don't, as an educational charity, we've never raised money.
Are you a CIC?
And therefore, no. And therefore, we are what we call ourselves a charitable organisation.
Oh, I see, right.
Which we're allowed to do. But we don't make the £5,000 that you need to have per annum. The most we've ever had in our bank account was 100 quid.
Well done.
We would never get registration with the Charity Commission.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm sorry, but I have to go.
I'd still love to talk to you some more about what you do, though.
Okay, I would like to finish off with Anna, if her connection lasts long enough. Say a few words that may not have been said, Anna.
Well, first of all, John Dale, I'd love to talk to you some more about the tarsiers, and actually I think we probably do have people at the OU we can put you in touch with. The key is having people to unlock that contact. And we John and I hope to be, the first step in that process. I'm going to assume, because John knows the project inside out, that he's managed to say everything he needed to say. Or what? Thank you.
Yeah, but he said he wasn't as good as you, so that was it.
The whole point about Alphas, as we've sort of alluded before, is that business in Milton Keynes and the surrounding areas, and on that beautiful rubbish map that is on our slides, which I would just point out, we didn't create the map, that was provided to us. That area, everything locally, the economy as a whole is going to fail if we don't support small businesses. And we're sitting upon this massive pot of people with knowledge that kind of almost like a little fortress of the OU that doesn't then share that knowledge outside of the OU. And we really, really want to change that. This is a sort of process that was starting as of the last couple of months. There are various sort of teams coming together across the different schools that are trying to be able to put local businesses such as yourselves in touch with people who have knowledge that could help, or contacts that can help, or in the Alpha's case, money that can hopefully help as well. Please do get in touch. Even if we can't help you, we might be able to put you in contact with people who can. I'm very open to having a chat. I'd love to meet new people. I'm very passionate about making sure that local economy is supported as much as it can be. Yeah, and I'm really, really sorry that my internet today has just been dreadful. This is the first time in months it's been this
also,
bad.
nobody interrupted you. They wouldn't let me get a word in edgeways, Anna.
Oh, shut up, John.
That's because Mark very kindly said I could have 2 minutes to talk.
Well, he said I could have 10, but he didn't protect them like he's protecting.
Yeah, but you were warned.
Or perhaps
Hey, John, you had about half an hour, mate. It's 10 minutes, the longest 10-minute tip we've ever had.
Yeah, but you only spoke for one.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but let's face it, Mark, you didn't let the poor guy speak very much.
I did. I was just waiting for him to say something interesting.
I think
shocking.
There we go. But Anna, thank you very much.
Look at John, you look at Anna, and it's a foregone conclusion. Anna gets the vote.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. Watch out, Anna. He's looking for wife number 6. Anyway, thank you very much to Anna and John for coming along.
Relax, Anna. I can afford it.
And doing a 10-minute tip-ish, and taking all the barracking and joining in with this. Everybody else, thank you very much for coming. I'm going to stay on here until the last person wishes to go.
Go, quick, go. Everyone, go.
And in 2 weeks' time, we'll hopefully have another interesting topic, but obviously not so much money being given away, probably.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, I think Mark would need to talk at some point about me coming back, or me and Anna coming back and talking about Open Learn a bit more.
Yeah, I think that would be really good if you wanted to do a specific one on open learning.
Yeah.
Probably not immediately in 2 weeks' time, but maybe
Well,
sometime in November. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll run a workshop on doing that online as part of Alphas.
Well, the other thing is
bring the takeaways on here and try and attract people that way. But
the other thing is,
while
John,
COVID's here, it's worth using your time to get.
Yeah, the other thing is, John, I'm very welcome to running meetings like that, learning meetings at different times of the day for different audiences. And I might even shut up if you're saying something interesting.
No, I doubt it.
John, I'll also be in touch with you.
Seen no evidence of that yet.
He won't. Nothing shuts him up.
John, I'll also
I don't know, Jane. You can have a go.
John, I'll also be in touch with you, John, regarding the program schedule I'm putting together for MKFM Business Series.
Fantastic, Stuart.
That'd be lovely.
One of the things I love about doing this is that every time we do it, we do actually learn something that we didn't know. And today definitely is one.
Well, I know never to do this again.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't have a clue about that learning thing. You know, there we go.
I learned to take 2 aspirins before every meeting.
Yeah. That's not enough, though, Stuart, is it?
There's a couple of universities that do free learning. Kent University. I'm doing a course with Kent University at the moment.
Is it on how to identify a battleship or a cruiser?
No, it's not. And if anybody wants to know, I can tell them that they're all battleships.
There we go.
They're just different masses
The
of
Hood was a heavy cruiser.
There we go. And thanks to David for sticking with us so long.
You owe me coffee, Dale.
And also reminding us that Liverpool's got a football team and we haven't really, but there we are.
Yeah, Liverpool got a football team. Liverpool itself is Everton reserves, isn't it?
Oh, no, come on.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp.
There's only 2 teams in Liverpool and Liverpool reserves.
Well, I must admit,
Liverpool and Liverpool ladies.
I'm going to say bye.
Yeah, Liverpool ladies.
Bye, Kay.
I will be.
Are you off to do another one of those courses, Kay?
Yes.
Okay, Kay. Okay, Kay.
I will be in touch.
Thanks, Kay.
So will
Look
we.
forward to it.
Right. Well, we're all still here. Jane, how are you, darling?
I'm very
well. Got to go. Talk to you later.
I'm
Right.
in shock.
Missing you already, Stuart. Missing you already.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Stuart.
Right.
I did think you actually let the 10-minute tippers talk to us a little bit, to be honest, and you haven't this morning.
I have.
No, you haven't.
A lot.
He hadn't had.
Replay it on Facebook Live, and you'll see he said a lot. He went on for half an hour. It went on till 20 to 9 or something.
He still hasn't beaten Madam Becky. No,
Madam Becky, in a face-to-face meeting, didn't even get to a point for the first 17 minutes. She had nothing. I had to let her go on for 25 minutes so we could actually have something to talk about.
I think Anna said who's Madam Becky.
Well, as we're still on Facebook Live, we might not want to mention that. Shall I cut the Facebook Live? I think I might do.
If you want to talk about Madam Becky.
Oh, look, Lucia